Dr. Mustafa Barghouti doesn't use weapons to challenge the Israeli occupation. All he needs are a hammer and nail. For decades, Israelis and Palestinians fought over this land. Barghouti and his followers built. In the occupied West Bank, they created a new Palestinian village.
This is another step forward in the growth of popular nonviolent resistance, which we believe is the most important form of struggle for Palestinians to get free.
Barghouti is 58, and he's an internal medicine doctor. For decades, he's been an activist.
I've been studying what Martin Luther King did, what Gandhi did.
The Ein Hijlah village is part of a campaign he's named for the biblical phrase, salt of the earth.
The village was dead for 47 years. So by bringing people back, we're bringing salt back to the land, and we're bringing it to life again.
It may not be much to look at, but Barghouti's planting the Palestinian flag on land that Israel is threatening to annex. In a U.S.-sponsored peace deal, the Israeli government insists on a permanent presence here in the Jordan Valley to defend against threats from the east. But Palestinians say the valley is the heart of their future state.
The Jordan Valley is the food basket of the Palestinian future state. The Jordan Valley has the borders. Without the Jordan Valley, we can have no free import or export or free economy.
The Ein Hijlah activists slept in tents. They ate cold breakfasts. And they played cat and mouse with Israeli soldiers.
These Palestinian villagers keep on trying to turn on the water, and every time they do, the Israeli soldiers turn it off. They are determined to keep this a non-violent protest. But it doesn't mean that the situation here isn't tense. Right up there on the hill, armed Israeli soldiers.
Just a few hours later, about 1 a.m., those soldiers moved in. They used stun grenades. They rounded up hundreds of activists, many of whom were not scared. And in one of his organization's ambulances, Barghouti patched up a young victim. Soldiers drove Barghouti's campaign out of Ein Hijlah, but just a few hours later, other activists emulated his example. They created the village of Jozala.
نحن هنا في العراء ننام في العراء دون أن نخاف دلالة واضحة على أننا أصحاب هذه الأرض.
For a few hours, Israeli soldiers left them alone. But as soon as the Palestinians opened a tent, the soldiers shut them down. Calmly, soldiers arrested the activists who didn't resist. The Israeli military says in both cases, the Palestinians were on military land. But Barghouti won't stop. Every time he's evicted, he says he'll start a new village.
It's a new language that is rising and trying to tell these people that we are also human beings and we are entitled to life.
So his nonviolent struggle will continue, and the Israeli army will continue to crack down. Nick Schifrin, Al Jazeera, in the occupied West Bank.